In the quaint town of Maplewood, Anna Parker found herself standing on the front porch of her father's grand estate, her heart heavy with desperation. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm, golden hue over the sprawling lawn. She took a deep breath and knocked on the door. After a few moments, the door creaked open, revealing her father, Robert Parker, a stern man in his late 50s. Beside him stood his new wife, Marjorie, who regarded Anna with a cold, scrutinizing gaze. "Anna, what brings you here?" Robert asked, his tone devoid of warmth. "Dad, I need to talk to you. It's about Mom." Anna began, her voice trembling. Robert's expression hardened. "What about her? She needs dialysis and we can't afford it. I need $50,000 to pay for her treatments." Anna pleaded, tears welling up in her eyes. Marjorie scoffed, crossing her arms. "And why should we give you that kind of money? Your mother isn't our responsibility." Robert remained silent, his face unreadable. Anna felt her heart sink further. "Please, Dad, she's my mother. I'm begging you." Robert finally spoke, his voice cold and calculating. "There's one condition. If you want the money, you'll have to marry Eric Stone." Anna's eyes widened in shock. "Eric Stone? The guy who's in jail?" "Yes," Marjorie interjected with a smirk. "He's from a powerful family, and this arrangement will benefit us all." Anna felt a wave of anger and desperation. "But he's notorious. Why would you even suggest that?" Robert's gaze was unwavering. "Do you want the money or not?" With no other options, Anna reluctantly nodded. "Fine, I'll do it." A few weeks later, Anna stood outside the gates of the Maplewood Correctional Facility, her stomach churning with anxiety. The gates creaked open and out walked Eric Stone, a tall man with piercing blue eyes and an air of authority despite his time behind bars. Eric approached Anna, his expression unreadable. "Anna Parker, I presume?" "Yes," Anna replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm here to marry you." Eric raised an eyebrow. "I know the arrangement. I need an alibi and you need money. Let's get this over with." The wedding was a small, somber affair held in the courthouse. Despite the murmurs and judgmental glances from the townsfolk, the ceremony proceeded without a hitch. As they exchanged vows, Anna couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change in ways she couldn't yet comprehend. After the wedding, Eric and Anna moved into a modest house on the outskirts of Maplewood. The first night in their new home was filled with an uncomfortable silence. Finally, Eric broke the tension. "Look, Anna," he said, his tone matter of fact. "We need to keep up appearances in public, but in private we lead separate lives. Once my trust fund is released, we'll get divorced." Anna nodded, feeling a mix of relief and sadness. "Agreed. But there's one condition. I don't want you involved with other women while we're married." "Fair enough," Eric replied, his eyes locking onto hers with an intensity that made her shiver. "And I expect the same from you." Days turned into weeks, and Anna found herself constantly checking her phone for a message from her father. But the promised money never came. She finally decided to confront him again, hoping to resolve the issue. She stood at the doorstep of her father's house, her heart pounding with frustration. Marjorie answered the door, her expression smug. "Back again, Anna? Didn't get enough the first time." "I need to talk to Dad," Anna said, trying to keep her voice steady. Robert appeared behind Marjorie, his face devoid of emotion. "What is it now?" "You promised me the money," Anna said, her voice trembling with anger. "Where is it?" Robert shrugged. "Things have changed. You'll have to wait." Anna felt tears of frustration sting her eyes. "Wait? Mom needs that money now. That's not our problem," Marjorie said, her voice dripping with disdain. "Figure it out yourself." Anna turned on her heel and stormed away, feeling more alone than ever. Determined to make ends meet, Anna applied for a job at AVI Enterprises, a prestigious company in Maplewood. She arrived for her interview, dressed in her best business attire, only to be greeted by an old college acquaintance, Lisa. Well, if it isn't Anna Parker," Lisa said with a smirk. "What brings you here?" I'm here for the interview, Anna replied, trying to stay composed. Lisa's smirk grew wider. Good luck with that. I don't think you're quite what we're looking for. Despite Anna's qualifications, the interview was a disaster. Lisa made sure to humiliate her at every turn, and Anna left the building feeling defeated. Her friend Julie tried to comfort her that evening. Don't worry, Anna. We'll find something else. You just have to keep trying. Desperate for money, Anna found herself at a pawn shop, clutching a pair of expensive shoes Eric had given her. She hesitated at the counter, her mind racing. Are you sure you want to pawn these? The shopkeeper asked, eyeing the shoes. Anna shook her head, pulling the shoes back. No, I can't do it. As she stepped outside, she was suddenly accosted by two thugs. Give us your money, lady. One of them snarled. Anna's heart pounded as she backed away, but before she could react, Eric appeared, his expression fierce. Get away from her. The thugs hesitated, recognizing Eric. They quickly fled, leaving Anna trembling. Are you okay? Eric asked, his voice softer now. Yes, thank you, Anna replied, tears streaming down her face. I didn't realize how desperate I was until now. Back at home, Eric confronted Anna about her financial situation. Why didn't you tell me how bad things were? Anna sighed, wiping her tears. I didn't want to burden you. My father promised me the money, but he's delayed it. And I can't find a job because of everything. Eric's expression softened. We're in this together now. Maybe we should move to the city. It'll be easier for you to find a job there. Anna looked at him, surprised by his suggestion. You'd do that for me? Eric nodded. Yes, let's start fresh, together. As they made plans to move to the city, Anna and Eric began to develop a deeper understanding and support for each other, realizing that their arrangement might turn into something more than they had ever expected. Anna sat on the edge of their modest bed, clutching the expensive shoes she had nearly pawned earlier that day. Tears streamed down her face as she recalled the confrontation with Eric. He stood by the doorway, his expression a mixture of anger and concern. Anna, it's not about the shoes, Eric said, his voice tense. It's about you not coming to me for help. You could have been hurt. Those thugs could have done anything to you. I know, Anna replied, her voice barely above a whisper. I just didn't want to burden you. Everything feels like it's falling apart. Eric took a deep breath, trying to contain his frustration. We're supposed to be a team, remember? We're in this together. You don't have to face these problems alone. Anna's composure shattered as she began to sob uncontrollably. Eric, you don't understand. My mother's medical bills are piling up, and I don't know how we're going to pay them. I'm drowning in debt. I went to AVI Enterprises for a job interview, and it was a disaster. The interviewer humiliated me, and I felt so powerless. Eric's expression softened as he moved closer, sitting beside her on the bed. He wrapped his arm around her shoulders, offering silent support. And marrying you, it was supposed to be a way to help my mother, Anna continued, her voice shaking. But it's so hard, Eric. Marrying a stranger, living in a new place, dealing with all this pressure. I feel like I'm losing myself. Eric pulled her closer, letting her cry into his shoulder. I know it's been tough, Anna, but you're not alone. We'll find a way to get through this together. Your mother will get the care she needs, and we'll figure out the rest. Anna looked up at him, her eyes filled with gratitude and hope. Thank you, Eric. I don't know what I would do without you. Eric kissed her forehead gently. We'll make it through, Anna, one step at a time. Later that evening, as Eric was checking his messages, his face suddenly went pale. He received a message revealing that his true identity as John Adams had been discovered. He was instructed to meet someone at the Ritz-Carlton. What's wrong? Anna asked, noticing the change in his demeanor. Eric hesitated, then said, I need to take care of something. It's important. I'll explain everything when I get back. As Eric left, Anna was left alone with her thoughts, feeling a growing sense of unease. Marjorie, always quick to sense vulnerability, took this opportunity to visit Anna. Anna, dear, Marjorie began, her voice dripping with false concern. You should know that this marriage is not what it seems. Eric has been manipulating you. We always intended for my daughter Regina to be with him, not you. Anna's heart sank as she listened, but she tried to stay composed. What are you talking about? Eric, or should I say John Adams, has his own agenda. He isn't who you think he is, Marjorie continued, enjoying the impact of her words. Confused and hurt, Anna decided to confront Eric when he returned. I want a divorce, she said firmly. Eric, taken aback, tried to explain. Anna, last night was a setup by Marjorie. I can explain everything. Please, just listen. But Anna had already pieced together his true identity and the reasons behind his actions. You've been manipulating everything, haven't you? Paying for my mother's medical bills, securing my job. Why? Eric looked at her with desperate eyes. I did it all to protect you, to support you. I never wanted to hurt you. Anna shook her head, tears flowing freely. I can't do this, Eric. I can't live with someone who hides so much from me. I'm leaving. The next morning, the news broke that Eric, now publicly revealed as John Adams, had successfully taken control of Dash Enterprises. This revelation shocked Anna and her mother, who began to see the larger picture. Anna's mother, seeing her daughter's distress, took her hand gently. Anna, there's something you should know. Eric visited me in the hospital. He promised to take care of you no matter what. He kept his word. Anna looked at her mother in surprise. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted you to see for yourself, her mother replied softly. He has his burdens, but his actions have always been for your well-being. Give him a chance to explain. Anna felt a mix of emotions but decided to give Eric one last chance to explain everything. She reached out to him, ready to understand the man behind the secrets. Eric, whose true identity as John Adams had been revealed, pleaded with Anna not to leave him. Anna, wait. Please don't go. I'm sorry I didn't tell you the truth sooner. I tried to tell you so many times, but I was just scared. When my mom died, all I ever wanted to do was take back Klein Enterprises, and I did everything according to plan. Except for you. You weren't part of my plans, but you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Can you give me a second chance? Can we just start over? Anna hesitated, her emotions in turmoil. Eric, hold that thought. I don't know. Their emotional conversation was interrupted by an exasperated airport worker. Come on. This is the third time in a month. People really need to stop doing this dramatic romantic stuff. Do you know how cliché this is? Every time it's at the airport or the train station. I love you this, I love you that. Oh, I miss you. I don't want you to go. Let's get back together. Despite her initial hesitation, it appeared that Anna was reconsidering her decision to leave. Meanwhile, back at Anna's father's house, Robert faced severe financial consequences. Debt collectors arrived to seize his home and possessions due to his failure to repay debts. Mr. Parker, per our agreement, since you didn't pay us back in time, we will be taking the house and everything of value, the debt collector announced. Marjorie, in a panic, clung to Robert. No, Robert, do something. Where are we going to live? Robert shoved her away in anger. Get off of me, woman. This is all your fault. I never should have married you. I want a divorce. The debt collector watched impassively. Have a good day, Mr. Parker. Meanwhile, as Eric and Anna stood at the airport, the reality of their situation began to sink in. Eric, now revealed as John Adams, looked at Anna with earnest eyes. Anna, I know I've made mistakes, but everything I did was to protect and support you. Please, give me another chance. Let's start over, for real this time, Eric said, his voice filled with emotion. Anna looked into his eyes, seeing the sincerity and the vulnerability. She took a deep breath and made a decision. This time, I'm marrying John Adams, she said, her voice firm yet tender. Eric smiled, relief and joy washing over him. So, are you ready to marry me for real this time? Anna nodded, a smile breaking through her tears. Yes, let's start anew. Together, they walked out of the airport, ready to face their new beginning hand in hand. leaving the past behind them.